Well, the past couple years has seen a rise in RV sales and people either living full time as a nomad or buying RVs due to the coronavirus or due to housing being so high. People have found or trying to find alternative means of living a little bit cheaper in order to get ahead or live a life that is more pleasing to them. So as I make this, it's the second or third month now of 2021, and I just filled up my gas tank, and right now in Florida, gas is about $2.70 a gallon for regular. For diesel, which many motorhomes are diesel, it's almost $3 a gallon. Now, the gas prices vary per state. In California, they may be a little bit higher, probably at least $1 or so higher. And so, that's a lot of money for some people. So I would say once you get to about $4 a gallon, and again, California may be close to that, you're going to get to one obstacle or one thing that may slow down the inflated growth of RVing. Especially as society kind of transitions to hybrid and electric, I think gas prices may continue to rise. They may not, but I don't think gasoline will go away quietly, And so it's like two things. One is, for some people, it may cause them to either think twice or to get a smaller RV, and that may cause the RV prices to possibly start coming down, especially as inventory grows. And also, what may happen is that in years to come, maybe in the next 5 years or so, you may start to see hybrid or electrical motorhomes, and that will cause people to phase out some of these gasoline motorhomes. And, if you could have a Class B that was a hybrid and get, 30 miles per gallon, that would be amazing, right? And so imagine, eventually get to electric Class B or Class C or Class A, right? So I would say you're really not in a danger zone if you already have a rig until you get to about $4 a gallon. I mean, it all depends on your budget. But, we're trying to see when will the economy stop inflating and at least go back to normal growth. Because something will eventually give. Now, again, after the coronavirus, as we're kind of phasing out, people are getting vaccines, and they say in the second half of 2021, we should pretty much be close to herd immunity and be somewhat back to a level of normal. And I'm sure there'll be some protocols, just like after 9/11, that'll stay with us forever. But we know that as time goes on, if we do go back to a level of herd immunity and normalcy, that inventory levels will even out. People will go back to work. There's not a shortage of materials and goods. House prices for lumber and all that may even level out. And RV demand may level out because people will begin to be able to travel internationally. So if people can travel internationally and take cruises and go on airlines, and if gas goes up because people are circulating again through society, because remember, part of the reason that gasoline went down was because society was locked down, so less people were traveling. And then as society opened up, some people decided they could travel or were allowed to travel domestically within their country, so RVing became inflated. So now the opposite trend is starting at a very small level to happen. That as the vaccines roll out, as herd immunity happens, as we go back to normal, international travel opens up. And I've already seen some nomads on YouTube starting to get ready to do that. International travel opens up. The supply chain turns back to a little bit of normalcy where it's not hard to get certain parts or certain materials. Inventory levels evens out. People are no longer just bunkered down in their house that they just built or that they renovated. Now they want to go out and they realize there's a whole nother world outside my house again. And so now you'll have that kind of transition back to a level where things go back to normal. And if you have $3-4 gasoline a gallon as a normal, people are going to look at RVing like, well, this doesn't make sense. I can travel internationally. I can take an airplane. Why am I going to buy an RV, $4 a gallon, and everything's open again? And thus the inflated in prices. Because, guys, RV pricing, campground pricing is inflated. It's like a lot of things in society. So if that comes down, then we go back to a level of normalcy. And even when it was normal, things were costly. So in one sense, it may be a good thing if gasoline goes up and levels out the economy. In the other sense, look, no one wants to pay more no matter what. But, it's like, what do you want? You want to pay $30,000 more for an RV this year than it was 3 years ago just because people were locked down and inflated prices and stimulus? Do you want to pay $50,000, $100,000 more for a house now just because the demand was high and inventory was low? I mean, you pay for everything in one way or another. So you always have to budget, though. If you're going to be a nomad, there's two biggest costs. Food, number one, and fuel. So again, it depends on the vehicle. If you live in a car or van, there's not a huge concern. If you have a motorhome or a travel trailer, there's somewhat of a concern, okay? As you start to see it go to $3-4 a gallon, that's a concern. And then you get to the people, living in their hybrid vehicles, their Priuses, their RAV4 Primes or whatever. And, that's exciting to live in that hybrid electric vehicle. And then maybe one day, 5 years, 10 years down the road, motorhomes will be, hybrid electric. I believe I read an article a couple months ago that every vehicle in the United States of America, every car manufacturer that sells in America will have at least one of their model cars as an electric plug-in hybrid. There's already I would say, very close to just about all car manufacturers have at least one model that's a hybrid. But in 5 years, you're going to have at least one model that's a hybrid plug-in. Like, the Prius Prime, which is a hybrid and a plug-in, which like the RAV4 Prime, like the Kia Niro, which is a plug-in or a hybrid, depending. So that'll just keep going forward. So, it'll be interesting to see like kind of how it transcends and how we transition. But this is something that if you are considering being a nomad, what type of vehicle do you have? What's your fuel efficiency? And if you're looking to purchase a vehicle, what is the fuel efficiency? And always project that if prices go up, you don't want to blow out your budget. I mean, so it's just something, again, you want to calculate the cost. You want to give thought to what you're going to do to make the lifestyle sustainable, okay? Sustainable. And that means projecting, inflated prices on gasoline, or higher prices on gasoline. But either way, I wanted to talk that out with you, give you some feedback. Hopefully it helps you in some way. If these videos do help you and you want to support the channel, click that blue join button. That'll get you unlimited access to all my live feeds, a custom badge, and custom emojis. Check out my playlist on my channel, which has thousands of free videos documenting my journey, my travels, etc. And keep pushing forward one day at a time, one step at a time. Remember, the average human life expectancy is about 80 years old. So, what do you want to do with your 80 years? How do you want to live? Who are you trying to impress? Who do you don't care if you impress? I mean, how do you want to live? This is your life now. You're an adult. If you're watching this, probably adult. Hopefully all my videos are for adults pretty much. So, either way, keep pushing forward. I'll see you in the next video. And thank you for watching. Peace.